guys, Falcon Planet here. I'm going to come to you with an Atlanta Hawks video. Just basically my opinion on where the team is going, where they're going in the future. We all know Josh Smith, he didn't get traded. At first, I was really shocked. I thought it just made sense. He seemed like he didn't really want to be here because we wouldn't give him a max contract, so he was going to walk out the end of the year. So why not trade him and get something decent in return? Well, now that I think about it, it was smart to keep him, and I'll explain why. Milwaukee, that was the closest team he would have got traded to. They offered us Mbah Mute, Ipke Uda, and somebody else, and that's just not very good. And why would we trade him to Milwaukee when that would give them Josh Smith, Monta Ellis, and Brandon Jennings, and that probably would end up being the second best team in the East, maybe with Indiana right there and the Heat. So it really didn't make any sense, and Josh Smith would probably end up re-signing with them, and we'd have to worry about Milwaukee being a powerhouse for the next 5 to 6 years. So Danny Ferry we almost pulled the trigger, but Danny Ferry, he said, no, we're not going to do it. The only way I would trade him there is if they would give us Monta Ellis, and clearly they wouldn't do that. So I guess basically we're putting all our eggs in the basket and going to try and get Dwight Howard in the offseason. It's going to be another Dwight Howard sweepstakes like we were in last time. He's really said nothing about wanting to come here. He's not very interested. He's from here, and keeping Josh Smith would entice him a little bit more to come to Atlanta. Even though he's having a horrible year in LA, he's probably not going to go back to them, so that's a little hope for us, since they're having such a bad year. Maybe if the Lakers had been leading the West this year, he would have re-signed, but that team just does not gel. So he's probably going to test the market again, and we're definitely going to be interested. And here's another reason why not trading Josh Smith still for those three guys and at least getting something in return in case he walks. Would you rather have $10 million laying around in the offseason to sign one player, or $10 million covering those three guys combined, which basically what it would equate to, give or take a couple mil? I would rather have $10 million laying around to sign one player. Danny Ferry has clearly stated he does not want to take on any large contracts. And even though those three players don't have big contracts, when you add all three of those contracts together, there's your problem. And the problem is those three players are mediocre. The Atlanta is tired of getting mediocre talent come through here and have these first or second rounds, dumps. We're tired of this. Danny Ferry has come in. He's already traded Joe Johnson and Marvin Williams away. Everybody thought he would trade Josh Smith away, but we just really couldn't get the offer we were looking for. This team is in a rebuild. We're stitched in the East right now, 3 games back of second place. But who cares? This year does not mean anything. We're not going for a championship. If we make it to the playoffs, we're getting knocked out in the first round by Brooklyn or the Knicks or somebody. So we're really focused on the offseason. We're going to have a bunch of cap space. We're going to put all our eggs in the basket for Dwight Howard, possibly CP3. I don't see CP3 happening just because Jeff Teague has played really freaking good this year. And I like Jeff Teague. Do I like Chris Paul more? Of course. Would I like to see Chris Paul in a Hawks uniform? Of course. But will that happen? We're just really going to have to wait around and see. We got 2 first-round picks this year, and that really all depends on what Josh Smith does and what Dwight Howard does. Do we use those picks to try and get a center? Well, if Dwight Howard comes, then no, you put him for a small forward or a shooting guard. So really, nobody has any idea what's going to happen yet. We're just going to have to finish this year out and figure out what we're going to do in the offseason. It could go either way. We could have a completely different team next year and be really good, or we could have kind of the same team with like a Jeff Teague, Al Horford, Josh Smith if we re-sign him, draft a center and a small forward, and basically be back to where we were 2 years ago of getting knocked out in the second round, which is not what I want to do. I would like to keep Josh Smith, but in the range of 13 to 15 million, kind of what he's making right now. I'd give him a little bit more money just because he's been in the league long enough. He's earned it, but I wouldn't give him a dime over 15 million. Let me just list, I'll put the graphic up on. Let me list a few of the names that we possibly could go after in the offseason other than a Dwight Howard. Well, let's look power forwards. Joshua's a free agent. Small forwards, I look at Andre Kirilenko. Whether or not he'll re-sign with Minnesota remains to be seen, but I'm a pretty big fan of Andre, and he's having a fantastic year. And shooting guards. Somebody I think we can pick up for a fairly good price, and I think he's the most underrated shooting guard in the NBA, and that would be Nick Young. Nick Young is a fantastic young player. I believe he's 27 or 28, so he's a little older than most people think. But if we can get him for around $5 million, that would really add depth to our shooting guard, because really all we have is Lou Williams right now. And really, other than Dwight Howard, you have Andrew Bynum sitting there. There's no way on earth I want to get Andrew Bynum. Chris Kaman, Nikola Pekovic, Emeka Okafor, Samuel Dallenberg, none of them guys I want. Out of the centers, it's really what we're going to do is get Dwight Howard to nothing. We'll see what happens. I really don't know what to say. The Hawks, they're going downhill. They're probably the best team in Atlanta, though, right now, other than the... Atlanta sports is just kind of, I don't know, they're just kind of stuck. It's like we need to get over the hump. Same with the Falcons, same with the Braves, same with the Hawks. They all three have pretty good teams, but right now, none of the three teams have championship quality teams. I thought the Falcons did, but we'll have to wait another year to see what happens there. The Hawks, it really all depends on what we do in the offseason, whether or not we're going to go back to how we were 2 years ago and have a pretty good team, but not a championship caliber team, or make some moves, which is what we need to do. Same with the Braves coming up; they've made moves. Let's see if they can contribute. Let's see if they can make a championship run. Seems like they always find a way to shoot themselves in the foot every year. So that's all I got. Probably make a Hawks video. I'm not going to make too many this year. I might make a couple playoff videos if we make it to the playoffs, which you probably will. There's a reason I haven't made Hawks videos before, just because we're in a rebuilding year. If we get some big name players next year, I will definitely make more. Make recaps, previews, all of that. I'm coming out with a Braves video probably in the next couple weeks, just to kind of round out the spring training, how that went, how the Braves are doing, how they look going into the regular season, stuff like that. So make sure you check that out. Our logo, we almost have a logo up. We're going to put that on hats, t-shirts. If you're interested, message me. We will send you one for pretty cheap. So, yeah, thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the subscribers. ATL Scrub Love. You make real good videos. Shout out to him. Go check him out. You can find him. He's on my channel, Channel Peeps on the side. So you can check him out. He does IP autographs and stuff like that at Hawks games. So, yeah, check his videos out. That's really all I got this time. We'll see you later, guys.